A very good evening. Welcome. This is Saturday's edition of Primetime News on TV1. Well, we are coming to you live this evening from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Joel Outkun. Let's start off with a look at the headlines.
3 suspects arrested following Matara gun battle remanded. 1 suspect killed in police fire this morning. 94th birthday of the late President Ranasinghe Premadasa marked today. Kabir Hashim's involvement in the bond scam exposed. Sexual harassment allegations at SriLankan Airlines raises eyebrows at the Presidential Commission. Arjuna Ranatunga comments on the ICC punishment on Sri Lankan cricketers.
Well, starting off with our lead story this evening. The 3 organized criminals, including Koskoda Tharaka, who were arrested following the gun battle with police in Matara yesterday, were remanded until the 2nd of July. Now, the 3 suspects are being treated at the Karapiti hospital under police protection. Chamara Indrajit, the suspect who was arrested following the gun battle, was killed this morning when police opened fire. The suspect had been escorted by police to the Kiralakale area in Matara to locate a bag said to have been hidden by him.
The suspect had taken a hand grenade from the hidden bag and hurled it towards the police, and at that moment, police had opened fire at the suspects. Police media spokesperson SP Ruan Gunasekara said Chamara Indrajit was wanted over a number of crimes in the recent past. The police spokesperson said the suspect was involved in the shooting at a concert in Attanagalla, shooting a mother and son in Nittambua, shooting an individual known as Udammita Samare, and the theft of 120 million rupees which took place in Paliagoda in 2012.
The owner of one of the motorbikes used by the suspects belongs to Koskoda Tharaka's mother. She was arrested by police yesterday for the possession of a homemade firearm at her house. She will be produced before the Balapitiya magistrate. We believe there are 2 other suspects at large. One of them has been identified and they will be arrested.
Acting Inspector General of Police C.T. Vikramaratne paid his last respects to Police Constable W.G.G.N. Veerasinghe, who was killed in the gun battle with the burglars yesterday. The mortal remains of the late 35-year-old police constable, who was a father of 2, have been placed at his residence in Godagama, Matara. He had joined the Sri Lanka Police in 2007 and was enrolled to the Police Special Task Force in 2008. Police media spokesperson SP Ruan Gunasekara said Veerasinghe had rejoined Sri Lanka Police in 2017 and was serving at the Matara Police since then. CCTV footage had captured this unarmed police officer risking his life to apprehend an armed suspect during yesterday's gun battle. Our correspondent reported the late Constable Veerasinghe was the second in a family of 5 and his 3 brothers were serving in the military. The final rites are to be performed tomorrow and he was posthumously promoted to the rank of police sergeant yesterday. Police have already launched an investigation over the Uzi submachine gun, which is a compact automatic weapon seized from the suspects. The seized Uzi submachine gun is one that is only provided to special branches of the security forces, and it is in fact a serious issue as to how these weapons landed in the hands of underworld gang members. Questions were posed to the police spokesperson on the matter today.
It is impossible to say. It needs to be investigated separately. The detectives will ascertain how the guns ended up with the underworld gang members. If you informed me earlier, I would have collected the data for you.
Now, several government ministers commented on the measures taken by the state to contain the underworld.
A proper program means to kill. No one can be killed under the fundamental rights. People can be rehabilitated. This is not the first time such things are taking place. It happened during the time of the kings as well. We can only contain this. The government attempts to contain this and integrate them into society. The underworld did exist. It was never gone. However, it is being contained. We will not leave any room for them. The punishments will be imposed. I state with responsibility, there is no rise in crime.
Now, the Forum on Disarmament and Development has warned a large number of small arms are moving within the country undetected. The forum has stressed on the need for Sri Lanka to accede to the Arms Trade Treaty.
Small arms are circulating in the country, but they are not detected. Yet it takes place in large scale. In 2005, former President Chandrika Kumaratunga appointed a national commission to deal with the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons. Weapons were collected in 2006. We see the paramount importance of such a commission. We are not aware of the post-war weapons circulating in Sri Lanka. In 1988, local government members were given weapons like the AK-47, but those were never recovered. The innocent people will have to face the consequences of this. These incidents take us back to the avant-garde floating armory, where a large quantity of weapons were stored in a dangerous manner. Yet, the manner in which these weapons were obtained and who used them remains a mystery. On the 15th of November 2017, Newsfirst filed the following report on the matter. What is the exact number of weapons that were taken over by security forces from the vessel that was owned by Avantgarde? Reports surfaced the serial numbers of some weapons seized by the security forces had been erased, and some weapons did not have a serial number at all. The present government of good governance claimed the operations and the floating armory of Avantgarde were illegal and promised to carry out an extensive investigation along with bringing those accountable before the law.
Well, it is very rare to find people who leave an indelible mark in the hearts of the people, and even with the sands of time, such people remain immortal. Today marks the 94th birthday of the late Ranasinghe Premadasa, who rendered a great service to the people of this nation. Here's a brief look at the life of the late Premadasa.
Ranasinghe Premadasa is a leader who rendered an exceptional service towards the betterment of Sri Lanka's economy, society and culture. Ranasinghe Premadasa made his debut in politics after affiliating himself with the Ceylon Labour Party, which was led by A.E. Gunasinghe. In 1956, Premadasa joined the United National Party. Premadasa reached out to the hearts of the people as a minister, leader of the house, as well as a prime minister, and is one who was fearless to speak on behalf of the oppressed. It is for this very reason the people on the 2nd of January 1989 elected Premadasa as the second executive president of Sri Lanka, giving him the title as the people's leader who understood the pulse of the people. Ranasinghe Premadasa is one who worked day and night for the poor people and social welfare programs such as the International Year of Shelter for the Homeless received praise from the United Nations as well. It was during the Premadasa era many garment factories were launched in a bid to provide more employment opportunities to the youth population, and they continue to generate a greater revenue to the country's economy even today. Ranasinghe Premadasa was successful in continuing the development programs in the country with continuous economic growth despite a growing civil conflict in the country. Premadasa, who was seen as a politician who understood the pulse of the people, showed great leadership qualities at a time when the United National Party suffered political collapse and worked to revive the party from its fallen state.
Well, on a related note, the foundation stone was placed this morning at the Shravastipura Sri Swarna Jayanti Vihar in Anuradhapura for the construction of a new chaitya to mark the 94th birthday of the late Ranasinghe Premadasa. The event was graced by the Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa.
The construction is the first phase of the program titled Sasunata Aruna Vevai Dagebai Gamai Pansalai, which is taking place to coincide with the birthday of the late Ranasinghe Premadasa. The objective of this program is to construct chaityas at viharas that don't consist one across all 25 districts in the country. It was the late Ranasinghe Premadasa who created the Ministry of Buddha Sasana in the country. It was he who created the Buddha Sasana Fund in the country. It was Ranasinghe Premadasa who constructed the chaitya across all places of worship in the villages. I wish to state the program is being implemented by practical Buddhists and is a massive development program to uplift the Sambuddha Sasana. On the day we mark the 94th birthday of the late Ranasinghe Premadasa under the concept of Vevai Dagebai Gamai Pansalai, we are following his practical policies to uplift the Sambuddha Sasana.
අපි උපයෝගී කරගත්තේ රණසිංහ ප්‍රේමදාසයන්ගේ ප්‍රායෝගික බෞද්ධ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය.
Well, on to an alarming statement. The Centre for Human Rights says money from the University Grants Commission Fund has been used for the bond scam.
In a statement, the Centre for Human Rights says monies from the University Employee Provident Fund and the UGC Provident Fund had been used in the bond transaction. The Centre for Human Rights convened a media briefing to elaborate on the matter.
Money which were placed in the funds that come under the University Grants Commission have been used for this. That amount and the loss they suffered is far greater than the loss suffered by the EPF. The bond scam had cost the UGC Provident Fund around 141 million rupees. We estimate that almost $1 billion rupees has been pumped into this bond. Kabir Hashim was serving as a Minister of Higher Education at the time. According to the Bond Commission report, his name is mentioned as one of those who attended the breakfast meeting the day prior to the bond issue with Arjuna Mahendran, Ravi Karunanayaka and then Chairman of the UNP Malik Samaravikrama. It is clear to us the meeting was held to use money from the UGC fund. The government came into power promising 6%. We stress they have looted 1.6% in this manner.
දැන් දීලා තියෙන 1.6ත් මේ විදිහට මංකොල්ල කාලා තියෙන බව විතරක් අපි අවධාරණය කරන්නට ඕන.
In more news this evening, the Northwestern Environmental Authority has taken a decision to issue the environmental protection license for the Norocholi coal power plant. A spokesperson said a meeting in this regard took place last week.
Yesterday, Minister of Power and Renewable Energy Ranjit Siambalapitiya placed the foundation stone for the construction of a wind barrier aimed at minimizing the environmental impact caused by the waste released from the coal power plant. The wind barrier will be 1,200 meters long and 15 meters high and will be located towards the west of the Norocholi coal power plant and will be built at a cost of 750 million rupees. However, documents produced in court have revealed the proposed wind barrier for which the foundation stone was laid is in fact a form of a mesh that is used in Wyoming, USA to control heavy snow drifts. Over the recent past, there was much debate over environmental pollution caused by the Norocholi coal power plant, and the Northwestern Environmental Authority had not even issued the environmental protection license for the plant. In such a backdrop, authorities have used the construction of the wind barrier as a means of securing the environmental protection license. As chairman of the Northwestern Environmental Authority, Provincial Secretary PBM Sirisena and the acting director Saman Lendua had acted towards issuing the environmental protection license. However, the authority says certain matters are being looked into with regard to the issue of the environmental protection license.
For over a year, the Norocholi coal power plant was operating without an environmental protection license. At a time when the Northwestern Environmental Authority cannot intervene to solve the issue, they have moved towards constructing a wind barrier solely to obtain the environmental protection license. It is clear the authority does not have the capacity to study the matter and make recommendations. They don't have the capability of issuing any recommendations to solve the issue in the power plant as well.
Minister Wijayadas Rajapaksa convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
He is not connected to our party. I am an MP and Minister from the United National Party. As a person who worked hard to topple the previous regime, I can say it was we who created a common candidate to do so. We will not leave room for that government to return to power. We do not accept the concept that freedom has increased. We accept the fact that the people can enjoy freedom to the maximum through democracy. It is the responsibility of the people and the monks to use that right in a manner that does not harm others and does not create a dark future.
He was very studious. We were hoping he would achieve 9 A's. The entire village is grieving. We did not celebrate the festival as well.
On to a shocking story. Mohammed Rizvi Mohammed Faizul, who was hospitalized following an assault, breathed his last early this morning, bringing an end to the dreams and hopes of his parents and school teachers. Mohammed Rizvi Mohammed Faizul was the head prefect of the Mirwala Sabrana Muslim School in Chilau and was assaulted by a group of students from the same school on the 15th. He was attacked while returning from prayers at the mosque.
He was coming back from prayers and 3 boys had attacked him after switching off the lights. He had collapsed and only regained consciousness after a while. He had managed to get on his bike and come home. He had reached his aunt's house and had to go to sleep, complaining of a headache.
The following day, Mohammed Rizvi was rushed to the Chilab General Hospital and hours later was transferred to the Colombo National Hospital. Our correspondent said a surgery was performed on the boy's head at the National Hospital. He was discharged from the National Hospital on the 19th with a medical recommendation. However, as he had fallen yet again, he was rushed to the Chilab General Hospital on the 20th and was again transferred to the National Hospital. Mohammed Rizvi passed away early this morning while being treated in the intensive care unit. 2 grade 10 students from the Miravallis Sovereign Muslim School were arrested on the 17th of the assault and were released on bail after they were produced before the Chilab Magistrates Court. Another student had surrendered to police on the 20th over the assault as well. Our correspondent said he was produced in court and then moved to probationary care. Former Minister Mervyn Silva visited the Mihintala area today to participate in an event organized by the Veera Dutugamanu organization, which was founded by him.
During the visit, the former minister visited the Katusaya in Mihintale and engaged in religious observances. Thereafter, he called on the chief prelate of the Mihintale Rajama Viharya, Venerable Valava Hangunavave Dhammaratana Thero, to obtain blessings. Following this meeting, the former minister was accompanied by the media to the Aradhana Rock. This morning, the former minister attended a meeting organized by the Veera Dutugamanu organization in the Maradan Kalla area in Mihintale. What did Gotabaya Rajapaksa do? I informed this to the papers. People were abducted in white vans and killed. Yet there was no punishment. What did Basil Rajapaksa do? He used his brother's power to forcibly take over property. I have no faith in anyone who is coming forward to build the country. That is why I created the Veera Dutugamanu organization. If they attempt to act in a ruffian manner, I will take the Dutugamanu sword into my hands.
Well, incidents of sexual harassment alleged to have taken place at SriLankan Airlines was revealed at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry recently. Newsfirst.lk, who is following the proceedings, filed this report.
The witness, Marlon Ferreira, in his testimony to the Presidential Commission said a Sri Lankan Airlines female employee who was based in New Delhi had reported that she was sexually harassed by the Sri Lankan Airlines regional manager who was also based in New Delhi. The witness said the victim of the harassment had made a complaint to the Human Resources Department on the matter. However, surprisingly, the complainant was transferred to a separate office of Sri Lankan Airlines. It had come to light the victim had thereafter filed a case in Delhi against the regional manager and Sri Lankan Airlines, and the airline had been summoned to the Delhi court over the matter. In addition, the victim had not been paid for a period of 3 years, and the HR department, rather than investigating the matter, had simply promoted the regional manager to Seychelles, and what is more surprising is that he is over the retirement age as well. Marlon Ferreira, who was officially summoned before the Presidential Commission to testify, is also covered under the Witness Protection Act. Witness Ferreira in total has trained cabin crew of 17 airlines around the world on the aspects of this subject of in-flight duty-free sales.
Well, now the names of these individuals involved in malpractices will be exposed at the Presidential Commission in the near future. Moving on, representatives from the JVP pledged support to the strike action and fast launched by the postal trade unions for the 12th consecutive day.
The government and the subject minister agree that the demands are fair. If the demands are not fair, there is no provision for a strike action to be successful. The overall postal workers are involved in this. The president clearly says that he does not run the country, neither the prime minister. A serious question is faced by the general public in every issue. The message we give to the government is that we stand with the postal workers and the government should stop making a mess out of this. If the demands are fair enough and if the minister agrees to the demands, it is the duty of the government to provide solutions and resolve this matter.
The Episcopal consecration of the new auxiliary bishop of Colombo, Reverend Father J.D. Anthony, took place today. Pope Francis had appointed Reverend Father J.D. Anthony as the auxiliary bishop of the Archdiocese of Colombo.
A Holy Mass took place this morning to mark the occasion at St. Lucia's Cathedral in Cartagena under the auspices of Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit. Reverend J.D. Anthony was born in 1958 in Pamanugama, Jayala, and received his priestly ordination in 1985. He also served as the rector of the St. John Mary Vianney Major Seminary in Colombo.
Well, you're watching Primetime News. Up next is the voice of the people.
Kami Honda.
Several villages, including the Udasiambalawa, Pahalasiambalawa and Pottegama villages in the Kurunagala district, face a serious issue over the threat of wild elephants. Wild elephants encroached on the Mavatayaya area last night and caused damages to a house and destroyed several cultivations. A correspondent said elephants from the Rasbahara jungle located in the Pallekele reserve encroached onto these villages.
The door was located here. It struck a blow that removed the doors off its hinges. They consumed about 20 plantain trees. I have to depend on 3 trees now.
The human-elephant conflict in this area had claimed several lives as well. Fishermen in Totamuna Matra have been severely inconvenienced as the estuary of the Nilvala river had begun to fill with sand. During the recent floods, the estuary was widened and has resulted in sand depositing in the area.
When we were returning from sea yesterday, our boat struck the sand and was destroyed. Because of the sand deposits here, the boats cannot proceed. We need this issue solved. We are small-time fishermen. We have been rendered helpless as a result of this. We hope this issue will be solved.
An event was held at the Jaffna Library this morning to commemorate the centenary of former South African President, the late Nelson Mandela.
The event, organized by the Nelson Mandela Foundation, was held under the auspices of South African High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, R.P. Marks, and Mayor of Jaffna, Emmanuel Arnold.
Commemorating Mandela's Day 2018 marks 100 years since the birth of Nelson Mandela.
A film screening and seminar was held, while books about Nelson Mandela were also donated to the Jaffna Library as part of a series of events to mark the birth anniversary of the anti-apartheid leader, which falls on the 18th of July.
His name is synonymous with the cry of people who says that we want peace, we want freedom, we want democracy, we want equality, we want justice. That is what his name stands for. Before he was a man of peace, he was a man of war as well. And so he is someone who said that we have decided to take up arms because we cannot have peace in our country unless we are prepared to also fight for our country and die for our country. In fact, he was a talented boxer, but he learned the rules of rugby because he believed that if you understand your enemy, then you can influence him. You can win him over to your side.
It is the people who benefit from all these projects carried out by Gammatha.
හදවතින්ම අපි සියලු ගම්වාසීන් ගම්මැද්ද වැඩසටහනටත් හදවතින්ම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
Gammatha, a shining light in public service.
Well, you are now up to date. For more, log on to website www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Joel Outskun. Take care. Good night.